Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Toledo. I'm bringing you another video in regards to what's in my vehicle. I did what's in my toolbox, but now I'm going to go over what's in my vehicle, my mobile setup, how I set it up, what tools I have in there. Every once in a while I update my tools and change it around, and I have two different setups in here. I have one inside the vehicle and one up top. This video is based on a site that we have. It's called denttrainer.com. It's a world's largest PDR tutorial video site. So you can actually learn PDR, whether you're a new tech or regardless if you're a veteran tech, there's something there. There's a lot of something there for you to learn from. So if you haven't been there, please check it out, denttrainer.com. And this video is actually based on that website, because we actually have a Facebook group called Dent Trainer Exclusive. You do have to be a Dent Trainer member to be in there, and we have a thing called Ask Mike and John. So this video is based on that, and I'll be answering the question for a person named Jimmy. Now, if you're a Dent Trainer member, this video is going to be on YouTube, but it's also going to be on Dent Trainer, and Dent Trainer is going to have the list of tools, at least most of them, and if you're interested, you can check them out. So anyways, go to denttrainer.com and let's get started with the video. All right, so what's inside my vehicle? I recently, about a year ago, upgraded my car. I don't know if you guys noticed, I had a Dent Box vehicle, a really cool car. I was just growing out of it. It's 11 years old, and so I decided to keep it. I was going to sell it. Now I got to keep it, and I'm going to give it to my son. So that I moved from that car to this car, another Toyota, because I put 311,000 miles on this car. It is a great car. But this one's another Toyota. I won't be doing as much mobile as I used to. I have my other PDR techs out there. I'm in a shop. But when I'm ready to go and do a mobile job, check it out. This is how I have it set up. So right behind me, I have all my setup. I have a glue box on top. I have two tool bags on each side, and then I have two drawers filled with my most used tools that I can easily access when I need to do a dent. So let's get started. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got in here. We've got a glue box. This holds all my glue tabs, all my glue. I got my slide hammer, my mini lifter, and my alcohol to take off the glue. I won't get into too much specifics about that. Most of you guys do know about what's in a glue box, glue kit. So I've got special tips that I usually keep all over the place. These are probably my most used tips. I have rubber tips, I have R4 tips, I got extensions up there, you name it, I got it. I also think it's very important that I keep a detail little box for whatever I need. I got the Milwaukee detail, like a buffer. It's awesome, guys. Now there's some tips that I can give you, is that you want more of a coarse pad to buff out the scratches, which I use some compound, and then you want a soft pad so you can reduce those halos, those scratches, those whatnot. Now, I'm not a professional detailer. I do have a Rupes, but I don't have power all the time, so I do make sure that I use a soft pad to buff out, and I use compound for the beginning, and then I use some finishing. Now it'll be like a 205, like a Meguiar's 205, or Rupes fine finishing, something like that. That's something you'd want to carry, again, to reduce those scratches, because sometimes you need to buff out something. Maybe you need to color sand and buff something out. That's something that you'd want to really consider getting. I also have a this is, you probably think, yeah, it's a crescent wrench, you know, a vice grip. Yep, it is, but it's also my door jammer too. So that door jammer is a quick setup. I really like it. This is one of the blending hammers I got from John Hiley. Okay, I think it's tacticalpdr.com. You can check that out. Really, this is the titanium one. And then I've got Shane Jacks. Let me put that back in there. I'll put that over there. Then I've got Shane Jack's blending hammer, and I also put a the Drew's Tools fatty head on there, which is really forgiving when I'm actually blending. And what else I got on this side? I just want to forget. I do have over here. I have a cold glue. Okay, you probably see me use this a lot in my videos, and I use this to get a lot of the meat out. Okay, I've got Tesa tape. Okay, Tesa tape is definitely something you want to consider getting if you're working on motorcycle tanks or anything high heat, something like that, so your tape doesn't bust through very easy. For my everyday pushes that I need, I use Gaffer's tape as well. So I put that, have a little hook there. And you can see I also have an Anaconda. Okay, Anaconda is a great tool for all types of big heavy dents. I also have a dent dial 22 light, which is the same, almost the same thing, but you can bend this one, you can put it in different positions. It's a little smaller. I use a lot on the fenders as well. Tacoma rear bed sides, you name it, that's what I use it for. I like both of them. I like the different lengths, so that seems to work really good for me. I also have, if you're interested, I've got a new updated estimator. Okay, this one's from Tactical PDR. This is John's, and you got a little bit of you know, you got like a 1-inch dent starting at, or smaller, is $145. 185, 225, and what we do is we put this next to the dent, and we can see determine the size, and then we can charge accordingly. So customers, they don't think that we're actually pulling numbers out of the air. We really do have a price list that we could go by. So that's really a good selling point tool for customers that you are maybe going to estimate the job. I also have my paddle here. I really like my paddle. It's a really dense wood, and it works really good for everyday dents. Had that made in Guam. I also have these on my site. I only have don't have very many. I keep saying that, but I really don't. I don't have that many left. And I also have, I use my other hammer. This is a, you know, snap-on hammer, but I had it dipped. So if you look at it, you can see I had it dipped, and this has been dipped for at least 5 years, 5 or 6 years. And it's still holding up. So it's very important when you do dip it, you dip it right. It'll last a lot longer. I also put my grip on there. I like to put grips on there. You know, you guys can find this on Amazon too, but it's how you put it on. It's I put ribs on mine and yada yada. I also got a hole straightener. So you guys saw me do a review on this. It's a really good hole straightener. It straightens out those holes that maybe you might mess up and chew up and bend out of place. That'll straighten that up. Going on to the main areas, I've got 2 glue guns I carry all the time because sometimes one glue might not work how I want it to, so I'll carry another type of glue, and these deserve some mentions. This is James Lee's Elimident glue gun. It's a cordless glue gun. You turn it on and it starts working like so. Runs off a DeWalt battery. He also has ones that work off Makita, Milwaukee. You've got a USB switch that you could use, you can plug with, and all yada yada. So it's real handy when I'm out in the real world. Also I have a backup. Another one is Carl Stuckey's. It lasts a long time, goes forever. I can't say anything bad about it. They both work fantastic. But again, the reason why I carry 2 cordless guns is because just in case one type of glue is not cooperating, I can go to the next, and chances are it will. So it will cooperate. If I'm in the cold weather, I'm going to be using a torch. So I'll be heating that panel up to keep that paint from cracking and keep my dents nice and clean. No cracks, okay? No cracks. Some of you guys might want to use a butane torch or a MAP gas, you know, whatever floats your boat, but that's what floats mine. Here is this is probably one of the most necessity R&I tools that you're going to need. It's one of the pulls the headliner plugs out, or the heat shields from the inside of underneath the hood. It grabs the plug and pulls it. Instead of just yanking down, you're going to snap that plug. What it does is it just really pinches that plug, and then you can twist and really maneuver it without breaking. Not saying it's a break-proof tool. You will still break some stuff, depends on how brittle it is. Look, I've tried all the little R&I tools, Harbor Freight or Harbor Brake, whatever you want to say. I've tried all the cheapy ones, but I keep going back to Snap-on, because the reason why is that these don't flex like they normally, the other ones do, the cheap ones. So these are good R&I tools. I think it's going to run you about 40, 45 bucks. You can get them on Snap-on, and they work great. I have in here is another, just a quick, you know, plug puller, you know, underneath, whatever you need to do. I also use snips for snipping my plugs or cutting something. These are really good for anything that you need, maybe tape, something you need to snip real quick, and I like them sharp. I use little vice grips, little mini ones, because I got to take apart sometimes these things get a little caught, right? These extensions right there, they get a little caught. So that's a good to hold, have handy. Another thing that you're probably going to want to get are these spoon right here, so you don't mar anything that you're trying to pull. These are great for pulling those plugs underneath the fender that are really flush and hard to grab. You can get these, I think, at Dentcraft or online for like 12 bucks for a set. I'm not going to go into specifics. You'll need some ratchets. You'll need some little 1/4 inch adapters, an 8 and a 10 millimeter little wrenches, ratchet wrenches. You'll need like a 1/4 inch set of just regular, I would say not metric, yeah, metric sockets. And one of the best ones I use, not the adapters, are bit holders, is I use this Sunex, and I get this from you can get this from Amazon. I'd say anywhere between 15 to 25 bucks, somewhere right there. It keeps fluctuating in price up and down, but it's something that you pretty much don't want to leave home without, or leave the shop or go on a job without, because you never know what you're gonna have to take apart. If you have stuff that, this is an option thing, but this is a gear wrench pass-through. So what this means is that if you have a bolt that's really long and your sockets are not long enough, what this does is it passes through the bolt. Okay, that passes through the bolt, and what it does is that it will, then you can take your socket over it and still be able to get to the bolts or to the bottom of the nut and still pull it off. It's really handy. I don't use it a lot, but when I do, I'm glad I have it. Okay, I am going over to other screwdriver sets. You know, it's basic stuff. You will want a air wedge. That is super important. Okay, air wedge is really good for tight windows. You'll need a right angle drill, because the right angle drill, I'm telling you, is you won't be able to drill underneath the wheel well without lifting the car up or jacking it up. So you might as well forget that. Just get a right angle drill. The one brand I like is Milwaukee, and it's going to run you about 100 bucks without a battery. No, actually $79 without the battery, and I think about $100 and some with the battery. A Unibit, I always keep those. You can get those at Harbor Freight, 3 for 13 or 15 bucks, something like that. Up in the front, for leverage, I use an Edgy Hook Tools. This is the hooker. You click it on, and then you can put your tool right through and get the leverage, and it hangs to the hoods, the trunks, whatnot. Also, this is an open end tool that I like to use on trunks, hoods, roofs, whatever I can get fender, inside of a fender. It's made by PDR Finesse. You can attach a tool from this side, make an extension, put an R4, whatever you like, and it's heavy. It's a real good hail tool too, if you don't have one, for if you're doing hail a lot. So that's something good. This is a rope ratchet, something you're going to need a lot. and to especially tie down or hold a door down, or a hood, trunk, whatever you need. Also, I got this little gadget thing from Carl Stuckey, and basically keeps your rope ratchet very organized instead of bunched up and getting in knots and all that other stuff. So check it out, stuckeytools.com. You can pick one of those up. This is a Shane Jacks door edge tool. If you don't know what this is, look up Shane Jacks door edge tool. I think I have a video on it, how I did it. I did a nice little video review about different areas of how I used it. You don't want to leave home without this either. Use your mini lifter, hook it up, and you can really get those edges out pretty nice. On this side, your typical chain that you're going to be needing, you've got your driver. Okay, I got my driver right there on that side. And that's how I roll with this. Now let's get to the good stuff, right? So over here I have 2 drawers, and these tools in these drawers are the ones that I use the most. So drawer number 1, what we've got here, this is most of these tools that don't have handles on them are from Ultra Dent Tools. Okay, and this is a 90-degree angle because a lot of panels are very narrow, so I need a 90-degree. Here's a shorter one with a longer heel on it, so I don't have to use as many extensions. This is probably one of my money tools. They're real close to the side panels. I really use this a lot. A little shorter 90-degree and thinner. I have my 30-inch 90-degree, actually 24 double bend soft tip, my 18-inch double bend soft tip. I call this my Momani, but it's a little thicker. It's a blade tip tool, a thinner blade tip tool, a shorter one, a double bend blade. Now all these tools are for the doors mainly, except for these side panel tools. It can be side panels, or there can be side panels, but mainly these skinnier ones are for the doors. Now, for finishing or getting through not double panel, but aluminum panels, or you got a lot of sound deadening, this right here is PDR Finesse. They are adjustable. They are fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. I've got some recent ones from some A1 tools, and I use these a lot for aluminum or in the hoods, anywhere that's got a brace, or maybe I just got a little tight ding with a nice little pit there. That's what I like using. I use this tool for side panels, braces, whatever you can think of. It really does the job really well. And I hook a handle up to it. These are the handles that I hook up to it like that. Quick release. This is for a fender too as well, so if I need to get underneath that fender right to the edge, this is a great tool. I custom had this made at Ultra, so that works really good. Now picks, I love using a pick. Now I got more picks, but this is the main one I use really a lot, and I don't really like to leave home without that one either. I've got an extension, so if I need a little bit more length of pushes, I'll add an extension, and I get a T-handle adapter, so to hold a handle, so I could use for these tools right here. In drawer number 2, okay, I've got my smaller tools. I've got my whale tails from Dentcraft. I've got who is that? That's Blem up there, that orange one in there. I've got them all. You probably, and now these are just some of them. Okay, I got a big whale tail action one. I've got a half-inch whale tail. Okay, that is definitely good for getting into the holes. I've got like a 5/8 whale tail. It's really good from Blem. And let's check out this CarePoint tool. This tool is a monster. It's a beastie. It's really, really thick. It's adjustable. So this handle moves. I got one hand I can't adjust it right now, but this is an adjustable handle. It's called CarePoint. I think you can get those tools from Dent Tools USA. These whale tails, most of these whale tails you can get from dentcrafttools.com. Another CarePoint tool. Now you're probably wondering why I like this, because it's very thin. I can use it when I have an open access area, I'm through a manufactured access point, in other words a hole. I can actually gain access and get in really tight spaces. I can use the tip for finishing. I can do all kinds of things. Again, this is adjustable. It works really good. And another open end tool, this from Dent Gear. Speaking of Dent Gear, I don't know if they still make this tool, but if you can pick this one up, I don't know what this is, what model this is, but maybe you take a screenshot of this video, you can send it to Sal from Dent Gear, but have them make you one of these. This is a really good tool. It's good for motorcycle tanks. It's good for panels that you have to make the access point. It's a little thinner than normal, so you should be able to do really well in getting to all types of dents with that. I got A1 mini hook. Okay, you can see that. That's an adjustable handle as well. I've got another Carrot Point tool. It's got a little bit more of a hook to it. I've got one of the most strongest wires I ever came across. Is from Dentcraft, and that is an awesome tool. I think it's a W9, something like that, but it's fantastic. I really like it a lot. I would definitely put all the stock numbers in through this, but you guys probably wouldn't see this video until next year. So I'm just trying to give you guys an oversight of how I roll, what I carry in my vehicle as of today, this date. So this is actually April 17th, 2017. Now, fire first, these are the blend tools too as well. I'm referring to these, the left and right hand. These are the Quicksilver from A1 Tools. Really highly recommend them. They're really nice and clean. Probably one of the most comfortable grips I've had. These are good grips too. So the reason why I use shorter ones and the longer ones, because I never know when I'm going to be pushing on a trunk or whatnot, or hood. Now let's get into another one right here. This is an A1. This is PDR Finesse, and it's a door tool, so it gets really down a door. I can just come over here and just show you what I mean. So, see that? It can go almost all the way down to about right there. That's why I like this tool. Okay, really good. And so when you use your window guard and your wedge, you can get real far down. So you can get past the middle part, probably say about 80% of that panel. Here's probably the latest tool I picked up, it was actually, I won't say it was picked up, it was given to me from PDR Finesse, and the reason why I mention it is because I won't mention anything. If I don't like it, I don't say anything about it. I won't say bad things about it. So I'll just tell you if it's good. Now check that tip out. Huh? That's some sharp stuff right there. This will do the same thing. Actually, look at that. Go right down. But also, you can go right to the middle of the door. Cars are going aluminum now these days, guys. Okay, this is an adjustable handle too. And it's a sharp tool, and I really like sharp tools. And you guys are probably going, well, what's the big deal with sharp tools? Well, you're going to need them a lot for aluminum panels. Okay, and aluminum panels, there goes the adjustable right there. Aluminum panels are probably going to be more and more common on cars these days. Okay, and you're going to need sharper tools because it demands more push power. It demands pinpoint pushing, and it needs sharper tools to get it to set, and that's why I use them. And also, when you have sound deadening, it helps a lot too. So this is the back of the vehicle. This is what I carry. I know you guys are probably saying, does it stay organized like this all the time? For the most part, yes. Now, if I have a really crazy busy day, yeah, the tools aren't absolutely perfect and put in their place and whatnot. Oh, I did forget to mention the tap downs. Now, this is a great tap down, especially if you're learning to tap down. This tool automatically puts you in good habit on how to hold the tool. If you put your two fingers in here, it's pretty much a done deal. Your fingers are going to be out of the way. Ultras, one of the best comfortable tap downs you could get. So what you can do is you can tighten this, and what happens when you're tapping, this doesn't vibrate loose. Well, that's really, really good. And it's comfortable. And it has a rubber top on it, so when you're whacking, you don't hear this big echo and big vibration. This is just a tool that really, really works really well. Okay. Probably the latest tool that came out this year at Mobile Tech Expo. It's VIP. Really good tool for finishing. It kicks butt. Now you have to keep these tips polished. If you don't keep them polished, you're gonna be marring some paint. And you know, one thing, a good friend of mine, Daniel Grom, I said, well, it's kind of marking the paint. You know, how hard are you hitting it? I'm hitting it normally. You really do got to back off on these. Okay, you got to let the hammer do the work and this do the work. Don't try to force taps because you will overly hit too hard. But I don't recommend getting this type of tap down if you're not really experienced. Get one, but don't be putting it on, using it for every vehicle you could possibly think of, because there are stipulations on using that. So there it goes. There's the inside. All right, up here. Now I did some video clips earlier just showing what I was doing, and up here I click this, and in here I have my my umbrella. I have my step stool and seat, so that folds out. I have another umbrella holder right here, and the other umbrella is on the other side, so that's another umbrella holder. So sometimes you need two umbrellas. Sometimes you have blistering sun coming from one way or the other. Now I fit all my tools in this bag that I have, okay? And in my bag, I have a light, and it folds out. It's freaking awesome. I call it the R2 light. It's compact, it folds out. And what I did is I added, it's called Rivoli. I'll show a video clip of it. And what it does is it pops out in like a tripod with wheels on it, and then I can set that light on top of it. Now it's kind of a monster build, like a Frankenstein setup, because it was meant to be as a heat gun holder, and it's a thimble stand. So with his light stand like on it. So I had a couple ideas, and then I put James Lee's adapter on it, and then there you go. There's my portable light. Man, I really like a bigger light. You know, I have a 14-inch light from James Lee. Actually, I got to show that one too. That was in my vehicle, but my student was using it. And that's really what I use. Now, let's check out what's inside the bag, because that's where all my long tools are at. And I don't give up any space in my vehicle either. So you can see by this, the car might be a little messy here, but I still got my space in here. Well, it's still kind of dark, but anyways, I got it. I got a lot of space in there, okay? Because technically, I got kids, so I can't afford to give up. My my space for the kids, because I never know when my wife's going to say, "Hey, get over there and pick up your kids," and so I got to do it. Here's what I carry. It's actually a camera bag, okay? And this is where I keep most of my other longer tools. Now, I'm not going to go through what these do. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to go through it. It's just kind of like you can get an idea of. I don't carry a giant amount of tools with me. I don't need a giant amount of tools. I just need the tools that I know that I can use 90% of the time. Okay. And if you haven't picked up one of these yet, this is an Ultra shave tool. Okay, it's shaved and tapered right there, then it's round stocked at the end, so when you're twisting, you're going to get a lot of drive to that. Okay, if you want to know what this one, I can give you the model number because it's already on it. If you like this one, this is the SH2C. SH2C. So it's probably too small for the camera to pick up, but that's what it is. I'm not going to do all this, titles and yada yada on here. This is just a video. Hopefully you enjoy it. You guys like what's in my toolbox, so I hope you guys like what's in my vehicle. So that's about it, guys. Oh, let's show you the light that we use, okay? That I use mainly in the car every day, stuff like that. This is the first generation light that I got from Illuminate. Now, what I did is I have another story how I came up with hybrid. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, is one of the first ones to come up with hybrid. What a hybrid is that you have lines on one side or part of the board, and then you have fog somewhere else. Okay, so you see that this is actually lighten up, and then there's the fog. Okay, and we can also set it this way, make it more brighter, the lines, and you can see that you have fog. Okay, there's not really a dent in here. I'm just showing you how it works. Well, this is the light I use. Now, the reason why I ended up coming out with hybrid a long time ago is because one of my students couldn't read lines. He was already practicing what he shouldn't have done. And this is in 2006. And so what I ended up having to do is I had to fog one side, or put lines on one side of this fog and then leave the other side fog, and that's how it came out to be a hybrid. So I could teach him how to read the lines. So if you're a fog guy and you want to read lines, well, I suggest get a reflection. You don't have to buy mine. This is a Mike Toledo version of the Illumident light, and what's great about this is that you can change it to any kind of setting you like. Okay, now you're wondering, well, how come it's all green? How did you get all green? Well, we got our ways. I'll tell you about that later. Okay, it's probably not that hard to figure out, but anyways, this is 9 strips. 6 strips go on at once. You can also, in the new version, you can dim it down. You can actually switch out the lens covers to whatever you like, and so on and so forth. So this is what I use when I'm on the road. This one's a Makita setup. His version 2.0 or 2.5, whatever he's got now, is just awesome. Even the spinal cord is different. Now you probably wonder, what the heck are these blue things? Well, these lock lines, sometimes they just get old and they just start, like, you know, just flimsy. Well, Carl Stuckey came out with these, it's called Stuckey rings, and you tighten them on the lock line and it gives you more support, long-lasting support. So there you guys go. That's it. And later on I'll give you guys a tour of my shop, but it's a no shape for you to see it right now. Well, we don't have time for that video. So I'll catch you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this, what's in my vehicle. And I'll update it maybe once a year or something like that to show you what other tools I switched out, why, whatnot. But that's it. So I'll catch you guys on the next video. Talk to you later.